Laura Farris.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Madam Deputy Speaker, last week I had the pleasure of joining the all-party parliamentary group on Crossrail for my first trip across the city centre, and I have to say it is a triumph of engineering and creativity. From the cloud atlas that is constructed as the ceiling as you descend at Paddington Station to the pinstripes that have inspired the entire construction of Liverpool Station. By its design, it tells really the story of our city. Its construction also revealed more of its history. Some of the construction workers told me about the discovery they made of more than 3,000 victims of the Black Death who were buried at haste and without dignity beneath the old Bethlehem Hospital when they were excavating the tunnel at Liverpool Street. And of course, the train plants a flagpole in our own national story, being unveiled as it is in the year of the Queen's Platinum Jubilee and indeed christened after her. It hasn't been all plain sailing. It is over budget, it is overdue, and it couldn't have got there without significant government intervention. I have certainly cursed it repeatedly over the years for the chaos it's caused at Reading Station, for the way it's carved up the Tottenham Court Road when I've been crawling through on the bus. But despite that, I've had a Damascene conversion. It is an extraordinary piece of new infrastructure. It is incredible that you can travel from Paddington to Liverpool Street in 10 minutes. And it's actually more incredible still that you can go from my constituency, from Newbury Station to Canary Wharf in the heart of London Docklands in exactly 1 hour. Everyone, I think, who worked on it should feel proud. It will change our city and it will transform rail transport across a lot of the southeast. I have to say it comes at a slightly bittersweet moment for West Berkshire, because it is only 2 months since we learned that Great Western Railway was withdrawing 3 intercity express trains from the track between Bedwin and Paddington, something that my honourable friend, who's not in his place, the member for Devizes, and I have been talking to ministers about ever since it was decided. And I have to thank the Rail Minister, who's also not in her place, but for the help that she's given to us to reinstate the 1907 route from Paddington to Bedwin, which is really popular with commuters. But she will understand, as I hope all the front bench will, that when that train was introduced, it was something that my predecessor, who now sits in the other place, worked on very hard, and it meant that people moved to villages like Kintbury and Hungerford because they believed that they were commutable from London. GWR are doing a great job of trying to improve the connection times, but they've also said that it's their ambition to reinstate the IET trains, and I hope the front bench will understand if I keep up the conversation and keep knocking on their door about that over the months ahead. The final issue, I'm going to be quite brief, I wanted to talk about is the bus back better work that the government's doing. And I do differ strongly, actually, from the opposition front bench. We have had indicative funding that is generous, and it enables us to realise perhaps not all of our plans, but then we've got lots of creative ideas in West Berkshire, but certainly some of them. And I'm going to just use one bit of my speech now to focus on a campaign that I've been running for close to 18 months now. And I think the ministers may understand why I raise it, because bus funding is often siloed in individual counties, and it is rarer for counties to correspond and try and secure a bus route that goes between the two. But I have been campaigning for a bus that will link I have been campaigning for a bus that will link Newbury to Oxford with stops along the way, not just because these two great metropolises ought to be joined, although they should, but because I do think it meets the department's BSIP criteria to maximise passenger growth. The route along the A34 between West Berkshire and through South Oxfordshire is home to some of the most exciting technology and science enterprises actually, well, in the country, I was going to say, if not the world. The Harwell Science Park, just north of my constituency border, is creating 10,000 jobs over the next 5 years. It's already heavily recruiting talented apprentices from Newbury College. And the same can be said of the Science Park at Culham and at Oxford and the Business Park at Milton. They all run up the same route. And the only way one of my constituents can access those places if they get a job is to get 2 trains and a bus at a journey time of about an hour and a half for a distance that is less than 20 miles. And of course, what most of them do is get in their car. So something we would want to limit. I am so grateful for the energy and enthusiasm that Oxfordshire County Council, West Berkshire Council and Thames Valley LEP and many others have shown for my proposal for a direct bus route, recognising we need to give people a cheaper, greener and faster way of getting to work to these important growth destinations. West Berks and Oxfordshire have both made this request of the DfT in their BSIP proposals, but ultimately the decision rests with you, and I hope I can impeach you, or it can encourage you strongly to approve it.
Yeah.